Northbound I-75, exiting at State Road 64 near Sarasota, Florida. This is a familiar route when I go to the train shows in Tampa, Florida, but Rudy and I are trying something new. Of course, not without the typical Florida railfan mistake of forgetting to turn off the AC when you're about to get the shot. Of course, this foggy catch is CSX train 0823, the Tropicana Juice Train switcher originating from Yeoman Yard and terminating in Bradenton's Tropicana Yard. Train 0823 is about to spot the empty Tropicana reefers as well as a couple of mixed manifests over at the Tropicana Yard for further sorting. The two ES40 DCs of 0823 have finished setting off their cars, and the power is moving in the clear for the Tropicana assigned switcher, yet another CSX GEVO, to bring out the loaded cars. Not only is this location significant because it is the starting point of the famous Tropicana Juice Train, it was at one time the interlocking between the ex-Tampa Southern AZA line and the Seaboard Airline extension that went south to Venice, Florida. The AZA continued eastward to Fort Ogden, but both lines have been severely cut back. The single GEVO, for reference, is sitting on the former Seaboard track, while the light engines are sitting on what would be a connection track between the AZA Tampa Southern line and the Seaboard's line to Venice. Well, nowadays, this general vicinity is the southern terminus of CSX ops in Southwest Florida, as any further down would be the Seminole Gulf's Sarasota line. Now here comes the finished orange juice that will find its way to Kearney, New Jersey. The yard switcher is going to be backing the outbound 0823 onto a siding track so that the road power can pick up the train from the north end. Notice the empty pellet hoppers coming out of the Tropicana plant. They not only receive the empty reefers, they also receive loaded materials that may be used in the packaging or bottling process. With the train's northbound departure looming at any moment, Rudy and I decided to head north on US Highway 301 to our next photo location. And this one is really like no other. The long, nearly 1 mile crossing over the Manatee River. The Manatee River pretty much sends a lot of the water coming off of west central Florida to the Gulf of Mexico. And is also navigable waterway, which means that we are talking high fixed span bridges and also drawbridges like this Bascule Bridge where the CSX Palmetto sub meets the river. And yet, as you may know, this is one of the slowest drawbridges ever.
90324, 90324. 082920 AZA 917.0, 823295358, good copy. Circle line 1A, main track, north direction. AZA 916.8 on the main track, NASC's Tampa on the main track. Also, throw this on here, circle line 5A. Do not exceed the following speed, 10 over 10 miles per hour in main track. Between AZA 881.4, AZA 881.5, yes on the sides.
90324 with 82920. Location AZA 917.0. 0823, 29 engine, 5358 being Gooch. Circle line 1A, operate main track, north direction. AZA 916.8, main track, NASC Tampa, main track. Circle line 5A, try to see the following speed. 10 over 10 MPH on the main track between milepost AZA 881.4 and AZA 881.5, yes on the time.
1030, yes,
Okay, in favor, 1030, yes,
even as released by the 898 milepost, 898 milepost, so I can put Crispin that on to trim a trio.
Alright, we'll do.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
After a slightly longer than expected wait, CSX train 082329 gets his northbound EC1 authority onto the Palmetto sub to head back towards Tampa's Yeoman Yard. And off he goes, crossing the Manatee River at a gentle speed no greater than 20 miles an hour. Well folks, there is yet another interesting river crossing on the Palmetto sub, and this is the Little Manatee River in Ruskin, Florida. Interestingly, it is a swing bridge and also retains two very classic signals. However, from what I hear online, these could be on borrowed time. Here too, the 0823 has to slow down from the maximum authorized speed of 40 miles an hour to a gentle 20 miles an hour to cross the Little Manatee River. And this is the 898 milepost that the train is going to have to clear very soon. They're doing some sort of track work around here. We're going to shift gears to a different Saturday in the Central Florida area. where we move upstream to the Tampa Terminal sub at North End Sutton, milepost 881.8. Here we have the youthful KC Smile and some classic USNS color light signals still standing in active service. A handful of these still stand on the northernmost reaches of the AZA line. This area is fairly rich in carload traffic that it not only features its own road local 0750 that we were never really able to see, it also boasts this yard job, Y191, returning from Rockport to Tampa's Yeoman Yard. And guess what train also passes through this stretch of track? The Tropicana Juice Train. This time 082319 heading north back to Yeoman Yard. It's very possible one or more of these 6 manifest cars at the bottom of 823 could have come from the Seminole Gulf Railway's Sarasota operation. Remember that this is practical now because the Tropicana Juice Train no longer runs on its own between Tampa and Kearney, going on Q442, Q400, and Q300, the latter of which I have documented in Southern Virginia. And let's definitely not forget what Rockport is known for, exporting finished phosphate from the Bone Valley to ports worldwide. K313 is turning west on the Rockport Y, coming from Mosaic's Ridgewood fertilizer plant. These rotary-capable flip-top gondolas, purpose-built for the Bone Valley operations, are pretty loud navigating the Rockport Y with this incredibly dense phosphate material. One of the best known trains that go through the Tampa area other than the Juice Train is Amtrak Silver Star, trains 91 and 92. Although reduced to thrice weekly for the time being, Saturday feels like a normal day as it sees both trains. And in coming and going to Tampa several times for train shows, for rail fanning, for other things, I've not really been able to cover this move so much. Train 92 pulling into Navy Y at 39th Street. If there is ever a question as to who gave this awesome horn show, all I can really say on here is, if you know, you know. Now, despite the thrice weekly service reduction that I mentioned earlier, 91, 92, 97, and 98 all look the same. So this train has a full silver meteor consist and, interestingly, a single P40 DC pulling. This part of Tampa certainly feels like what I'm used to seeing in Hialeah, except for a couple subtle differences, like the brick pavement lining the various streets in the area, and the fairly hilly profile located throughout this particular region. We are at the west leg of the Navy Y, and train 92 is going to be shoving backwards out of accepted spur track that used to be the ACL's link to High Springs. Backing in this way allows better proximity for passengers to board and unboard train 92 at TUS, and once a train is done doing its station stop, it can head straight out onto the A line for points north. Now note that the conductor is flagging this crossing at Navy Y. Don't know exactly why, it's already gateless, everything's working, they probably had to copy a false partial or something of the like. So I'll leave you guys here with the backing of train 92 into Tampa Union Station, and we will definitely pick up with plenty of awesome footage from CSX's Bone Valley. I would like to thank you guys for joining me and Rudy on these outings, as well as the rest of the South Florida Railfan Mafia, and look forward to sharing more content with you in the near future. But of course, if you would like to see that content, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and if you can, please leave a like and comment on this video. I'll definitely get back to your comments and all your correspondence in a timely manner. From Tampa, Florida at Navy Y, this is TE, out.